Welcome back to Kicking in the Second Half, KISH YZ. I'm D, Groot. We got Hugh over there
Hey,
and special guest, YB, your bud 36. What's up, bro?
Hey man, glad to be
There we
back.
go. There we go. And we're going to talk about the Lebron effect, aka the ankle injury. Y'all all saw what happened, right?
yeah,
B, you saw
Very,
that?
very unfortunate. Very
Yeah,
unfortunate.
so basically the player just kind of dove for the ball and just basically made LeBron's ankle go inward. And yeah, very unfortunate. Like he fell over, he was in pain. Thank you. You said he got up, came back into the game, shot the shot, give him a double digit point tally for the game, and then exited out. Obviously, this isn't anything as far as career ending or even season ending, but when you're LeBron, when you're playing for the Lakers, when you're in the Western Conference, you know, these things have a big effect on the league and your team. Let's get into the playoff race. How does this affect the playoff race in y'all's opinion? Does this at this point, with not really the bubble, but with COVID, the restrictions for fans being in the building, does home court really matter this season when it comes to like the Lakers as far as if they drop down in the as a bottom seed? Hugh?
um, I still think that home home court advantages is some this season. I think one thing with the travel, I think is a big deal, like always. But I will say this year, I don't believe it's as big as other normal seasons, just because the fans, make such a big impact on games, and they're obviously not able to be there this year. So I don't think it's as big of a deal. I still think it has its uh pros. I mean, you can keep the same routine you have, stuff like that, but not as big as it normally is.
B, you think the Lakers end up in the top eight?
I still think their roster's strong enough. They stay in the top eight. Obviously, not having the best player on your roster, best player in the league, active on the floor is probably going to hurt your standings. They're probably not a one or two as long as he's out, but I still say they're between 5 and 8 at the very least. I would not be surprised if they stay top four, but I wouldn't be surprised if they drop into the 5 spot, depending on how long his absence is.
That's true. Yeah, I just wanted to bring up that question because of the play-in format. I mean, I do think the Lakers stay in the top eight for sure, if not climb back up. I think Hugh gave me an update earlier today about LeBron possibly coming back by Thursday because of the reports that he traveled with the team and the trainer as far as I guess trying to rehab on the road and seeing how it feels by that game against the Sixers. Y'all
Yeah,
think like that's too early for a LeBron return, or is he, does he know his body where he can make that decision ultimately based off himself without the trainers really being too concerned about it?
yeah. I mean, I think that at this point in his career, he knows his body. I know one thing. I know I'm sure he's itching to get back. The earliest he possibly can. He knows how tight the West is. He knows all the talent in the West. He knows, they lose a handful of games, how far down they can start slipping. So I think he's going to want to rush back. I just say, kind of like they're being with AD, careful, not trying to rush him back. I think he needs to have that same mindset. Like you said, it would take something crazy to happen for them to fall out of the top eight, and it would take him being out for a while. I don't see all that happening. So yeah, I think they might dip down. The Clippers are right behind them. I think they might dip down a couple spots, but I see him being in there. So I know he wants to come back quick, but I think he should just make sure he's good before he tries to come back.
YB, your thoughts about LeBron's return potentially this week, or do you think it should be longer?
I mean, obviously, LeBron and the people in his corner know more about the injury and the extent of wear and tear that it's going to be on his body to come back. I personally, if I'm the Lakers, I don't give anything. I don't give a crap about the regular season, him coming back at all. I want him to be 100% for the playoffs because that's when he's really going to matter. And honestly, at the end of the day, like I say, he's going to do what he views as best for himself and the people in his corner are going to be looking out for him. But like I say, if I'm a Lakers fan, if I'm in that Lakers organization, the only thing I want is LeBron 100% for the playoffs and pushing for that title.
Yeah, you definitely want LeBron 100% and Anthony Davis 100%. I mean, he's a guy I was looking at as far as potentially being out the rest of the regular season, if not, maybe just play a couple weeks to get a few reps in, a few games in towards the end of the regular season, just to prepare for the playoffs. But yeah, definitely want both of those guys 100%, because what's the point of going into the playoffs with those guys playing at, half their capacity? Because we know what they can do at full capacity if they can get there. Another question I wanted to ask y'all, in a what if scenario, let's say LeBron misses 2 or 3 weeks and he makes a return back, where he may have missed maybe, let's say 6 or 8 games, and, he's 100% and he's wanting the Lakers to climb back up in the standings if they, took some L's there. How much would that impact his, the MVP race, as far as the conversation leaning towards him as far as the MVP? As far as that amazing storyline of a potential, the Lakers were down this much or at the standings when LeBron was off the court. Now he's back on the court and they're back in the top 4. B?
Honestly, every year, the past, 12 years, I would say LeBron is in the MVP discussion every year. Obviously, it helps his chances at the MVP race if he comes back and brings the Lakers up if they, happen to drop several games in a row. But, like I say, I'm not sure. I think the voting's kind of slighted against him because he's so consistently good every year. Honestly, I think it's just the fatigue of the voters of not wanting the same guy to win it every year. So is he an MVP candidate if he comes back? Yeah, but I mean, at this point, I just, like I say, I'm wholeheartedly for take as long as he needs, take Anthony Davis as long as he needs. You're going to be a top 8 team, and the healthier you can have those guys for the playoffs, the better, in my opinion.
Hugh, does LeBron deserve the respect if he's able to put the team back in the top 4 if he were to miss some time, or if he does just miss a couple of games and returns Thursday and he still keeps them in the top 4, assuming Anthony Davis misses extended time from here on for the regular season?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think it. I mean, he's already obviously in consideration. He is every year, like your bud said. It would be. I think it would do nothing but help his chances. If he, misses 2-3 weeks, like you said, they lose a handful of games, dip a little bit in the standings, maybe 5, 6, 7, somewhere around in there, and he comes back and says, let's go back up. And, balls out, pulls him up some. That would, of course, help his chances. Now, I don't know if it would win him MVP. Embiid was easily my MVP, but now he's missed time, and I think Jokic is now kind of taking over as a lot of people's MVPs. So there's a lot of great players this year. I don't know if they would make him be MVP, but I think it wouldn't hurt his chances at all.
Our last round here. How badly do the Lakers need to make a move? Center, guard, or both?
Yeah, I'll go both, 100%. Especially with AD being out right now, they need center help. They need big man help. A couple names swirling around. Drummond, Aldridge, DeMarcus Cousins already a free agent. I think one of those 3 guys is going to end up there. If I had to guess, probably be Drummond. I think they're the front runners for him, but yeah, they definitely need him. And then guard. I think the Lakers need shooters. They they have a good team in my opinion. I just think they're lacking, like I said, big man and then shooter. I think somebody catch and shoot. Somebody can sit outside the arc, somebody like that. And I do know I haven't heard specific names, but I do know. I think today they started inquiring about some guards from some teams. So I think they possibly a couple moves from the Lakers coming up.
B, do you think that the Lakers should just wait out for the buyout and just see what they can collect there as far as filling in some missing pieces or getting some help? Or they should also consider trading some pieces to bring in like a quality guard or big assuming they don't get one of the buyout guys. Well, I guess the buyout guys will come after the trade. So more so the guard, from the guard perspective.
I don't know any big name shooters that are going to be in the buyout market. But if I'm the Lakers, I don't want to give up a whole lot. I mean, obviously they do need a shooter or two on the outside, but I think definitely adding a big. For one, they need it right now with Davis out. But for another thing, it gives you depth and takes a lot of the pressure off of Davis and gives him more space to work. I think that's more important than people think. Getting those guys the rest they need during their healthy time, as well as giving them the space to operate. I don't know that there are a lot of the guards that they're looking for on the market right now, but like I say, if I'm the Lakers, I'm not trying to give up, the depth that they have in their team, which is one of their big strengths right now, and the reason they're still good with their two main guys out. But like I say, they definitely need a shooter, maybe two, to stretch that floor out a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on this week as far as the trades and the buyouts, especially with the Lakers name being attached to anybody. The Raptors might be something interesting to look at as far as Norman Powell, but I think they want to trade for him. I don't know if the Lakers were willing to trade for a player like him. Kyle Lowry is another name, but if he were to be bought out, I think they're definitely going to target him. Like I said again, I don't think that's a situation where they're definitely trying to get rid of him, but just more so trading him. And yeah, I don't think the Lakers should give up too much just to make a small improvement with the injuries to Anthony Davis and LeBron. You just kind of want to sustain as much as you can and keep pushing with what you got and build up more team chemistry. But yeah, definitely some names to watch out in the buyout market. And that's what's the cool thing about if you're a Lakers fan, just because that your team is, an attractive team, especially when you're coming off a championship run like that. So, definitely going to be news, and obviously until Thursday's deadline, it's definitely going to be rumors and drama. So yeah, let's all stay tuned, and we'll keep providing y'all with updates. B, I'd like to thank you for coming back on the show again. You want to give any shout outs?
So first off, I'd like to thank KISH YZ for continuing to have me back. I really enjoy this. Big shout out to my wife Heather, who is the reason we have this new amazing setup. You guys don't even get to see half of what she's done here. It's amazing. I love her and I appreciate all she's done. But
we all love her too. Shout out to Made Tasty by Heather.
Yeah,
delicious treats.
Yeah, check her out on Facebook, Made Tasty by Heather.
Send her your address and you might get some cookies in the mail.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, and make sure you guys come by, hang out in my chat on YourBud36 at twitch.tv. Love to have you in my chat and hang out and make fun of me being bad as I branch out into even more games and more diversity. And that's what we like about this world, is all the diversity.
That's for sure. That's what we're all about here. Yeah, we hope to have you on here pretty soon in the next episode or down the road, maybe 2 episodes away. But yeah, definitely thank you for stopping by and giving us your time and consideration. Hugh, last words, give a shout out. Who should subscribe, and has your mom subscribed? Let's get an update on that, by the way.
Nah, my mom still hasn't subscribed. I haven't talked to her about it some more. But I don't know who not subscribed. Shout out my brother. I don't know. He might be subscribed, to be honest. I don't know if he is or not. He's watched a couple, so he might be. But shout out Eric. Yeah, shout him out.
Yes, yeah, shout out ES.
Yeah, shout out ES.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Yeah, thank y'all for tuning in, and we're going to definitely try to keep you update with this crazy week of trades and market drama. But yeah, once again, this is kicking it in the second half. Peace and love, everybody, and diversity.